Hey everyone, and welcome to this exciting episode of the LBank Pulse Focus, brought to you by LBank. Pulse Focus is a 4-episode series bringing you the most esteemed guests from the crypto industry. I'm your host Muha, and today with us we do have very special episode. Hi Murad, and thank you so much for joining us today on the LBank Pulse show. Can you share a bit about your journey from studying at Princeton and working at the Golden Shacks to becoming a prominent figure in cryptocurrency space?
Thank you for having me, guys. My name is Murad Mamadov. I am from Azerbaijan. Went to university in the United States. While I was there, I spent a year abroad in Beijing. And back then in Beijing, I met employee number 4 at what was back then called OKCoin. Right now it's called OKX. After graduation, I worked in TradFi a little bit. I worked in Hong Kong on the option side, and I also worked in Singapore on the commodities trading side. And when 2016, 2017 rolled in, I got involved into some ICOs just as a personal investor, and it was clear to me that crypto, blockchain, BTC, they're going to change the world so much that this is where the next stage of growth is. So 2017 onwards, I've been pretty much doing crypto full time, trading, investing, reading, writing, one of the earliest people to do on-chain analytics, did asset management for a while. I'm currently building in DeFi, but I think right now my biggest focus is on Memecoins, and excited to kind of delve into that a bit more.
A bold question. How did you get first involved in Bitcoin and the whole cryptocurrency cycle? And personally, what sparked your interest into the meme coin space?
So when it comes to Bitcoin, the very first time I got involved was 2013. That's when BTC first hit $1,000. I obviously should have bought more. I was I believe I was only 20 years old at the time, or 19 years old, 19 years old at the time. So I was still too young. Took a break in 2014, 2015, like many of us have. 2016, with the rise of Ethereum, and 2017 with the rise of ICOs, and obviously BTC hitting 20K. And so I think 2018 is when I did a ton of reading on BTC, Ethereum, monetary history, cryptography, kind of the future of crypto finance. And that's when I built my hardcore conviction about the space.
So you've been very vocal about Memecoin cycle, Supercycle, pardon me. Can you elaborate on what does that mean, and why do you believe it's happening, or it will happen in 2025?
I actually believe that the Memecoin Supercycle started in 2013 when Dogecoin first created. And if you look at each cycle, right, in 2017, we only had one meme coin, which was Doge. In 2021, we already had 5,000 meme coins with the famous dog, Shib, and anime season, right? And right now, we already have tens of millions of meme coins. And I think, frankly, this is probably going to continue to happen all the way until hyper-Bitcoinization, and all the way until BTC becomes the world's kind of global money. Fundamentally, if we look outside of crypto, I think there's constant inflation and global money supply pressures. They are making people more risk-seeking at the neurochemical level, right? And essentially, every 4 years, the themes that dominating crypto, they're becoming crazier and crazier, right? And this is totally understandable, because the more money there is in the system, the more pressure people feel to compete, to outperform, and to continue going. Furthermore, what I will say is people sense that AI is coming for their jobs. People sense that competition is becoming crazy in all the industries, in all of the different jobs and fields. And finally, people know that meaning and traditional community institutions in the real world, they're all going down in terms of power. And I think all of these things are essentially pushing people into crypto, into meme coins that are on the risk end of crypto, and into these kind of digital communities. Now, furthermore, you need to look at inside the industry. Inside the industry, in 2017 or 2015, 2016, 2017, you could buy Ethereum, BMV, Chainlink ICO, you could buy these things at roughly $30 million. Right now, some of the projects launch for retail trading at $30 billion, right? So you don't have these gains anymore. And if you actually study all of the past crypto projects that have become big multi-cycle winners, the one thing they have in common is they have these hardcore communities. And now you have to reverse engineer this. You have to ask yourself, where do hardcore communities come from? My opinion is that hardcore communities come when you make poor people rich or you make middle-class people richer. But in order for you to make that happen, your early trading price needs to be low enough that regular retail people join. Essentially, the core of my strategy is it's better to have 10,000 people with like $1,000 each rather than having one person with 10 million or 10 million people with $1, right? There's that sweet spot of middle class, upper middle class participants that are the most motivated. And the bigger the percentage of your community that is that middle class, upper middle class holders, the more media, the more passion, the more attention that's going to be generated.
And you did touch on those holders, and sometimes you put the lists of how many holders is there with 1,000 plus USDT in that particular coin. Besides that, what trades do you look in successful meme coin? I mean, can you give us an example that have catch your attention recently? Some of the coins, if you want to mention.
Yeah. So not financial advice, but I think the most important concept to understand is what I call critical mass. Critical mass is this point where the community is ready to go viral and kind of take over the world and be everywhere. But for the sake of example, let's say there is 100,000 holders, there is like $500 million in market cap, and exchange listings are starting to come, right? My whole thesis is large caps, they will probably go up and they have less downside, right? The low caps, they have a lot of downside. Like your risk of making it is like maybe 1% or less, right? And I think the best risk reward is in mid-cap cults, essentially mid-cap, very strong communities that continue to grow week to week, right? No surprise, but I am a big fan of SPX 6900, Giga, Mog, Topcat, Apu, and Harry Potter Obama Stonington Inu.
How important, you did touch on the community engagement. How important is that community engagement within success of a meme coin? And are there any specific strategies you've seen work well in those communities?
And I think there are some metrics that you can look at to study community. There is stuff on the supply side and there is stuff on the demand side. On the supply side, I look at things such as diamond handing ratio, how decentralized it is, how well distributed it is, how organic like the early chains, the early blocks in the chain were. And essentially, like I said, I want to see the supply decentralized. I want to see a high percentage of the holders that have 1K or more, 3K or more, because they're going to be the most pound for pound, most motivated soldiers. And I want their behavior on chain to be that of a believer rather than a trader. I want them to hold for as long as possible, and I want them to not rotate, and I want them to be as all in into that one coin as possible. On the demand side, you have to look at price. You know, as much as we don't like to talk about price, I think you want the chart to look constructive on medium and high timeframes. Even more importantly, I think is holder growth rates, weekly and monthly rates of holder growth. They need to be high because that shows that the community continues to hustle and attract new members. And you also want to look at distribution, chains, bridges, partnerships, listings. These things also help for distribution. When people come, when demand does come, you want your coin to have as much distribution as possible. Lastly, I would say social media is very important. Twitter and TikTok, but I think next year also YouTube, 4chan, Reddit, Facebook. The more presence your coin has on these platforms, the better.
And of course, the coins that you always do mention have that, and they build on that. We see the market trends and strategy shaping in 2024 and kind of changing. Those coins are basically you can see them on the TikTok. We didn't see that back in 2022 or 2021. What trends do you personally see shaping the crypto market in 2025 and of course beyond?
I think you need to differentiate between short-term trends and kind of long-term sustaining memes. For example, if you look at Doge or Pepe or GigaChad, these memes that have already existed on the internet for years and they're still popular. At the same time, there are other things such as like planking or dabbing or whatever that have come and went, you know? They were popular for maybe 6 months, 1 year, and they're no longer there. So I think TikTok, you have to be very careful. Like you have to understand, is this a meme that's gonna survive for many years? Or is this just something that's gonna survive for 6 months and then kind of go away, right? And I think for your coin to become very big and even to become multi-cycle project, you want like a real meme that's gonna survive through the years. So that's something very important. My whole view is that the crazier and more inspiring a meme is, the better. Why? Because the higher the inspiration per capita, the higher the average amount of money, labor, time, and energy that each member of the community is going to put into the project. And essentially, you want to build a motivated army of supporters.
Indeed. And you think 2025 will be a bit different than 2024? And how do you think meme coins will evolve as the crypto market matures and go further into the next bear market, into the next bull market?
Yeah. So the way I see it is we're going to have 4 core asset groups. We're going to have BTC that is going to become the main store of value in the world. I think other layer ones like Ethereum and Solana are going to play that role, but at a smaller scale. Second, there's going to be stable coins, pretty obvious. I think they'll still survive for the next 20, 30 years. As long as the fiat money is alive, stable coins are going to be alive as well. Now, the last 2 are what I think are interesting. For many years, we had altcoins, and it wasn't clear whether it was like a cash flow project or a meme coin project or what it was. I think the rise of meme coins, it separates altcoins into 2. And now you're going to have 2 categories. On one hand, you're going to have cash flow coins that are essentially going to become like quasi stocks, quasi equities on chain. TradFi knows how to value this. You have revenues, you have distributions, pretty clear. And on the other hand, you have kind of crypto culture, crypto community, pure speculation.
And just to piggy ride on that answer you gave us, do you personally think the meme coins will bring mass adoption from the people, you know, for the normies, from the other people on the other side? Do you personally think the meme coins will bring more adoption into the whole world?
So I think this cycle, meme coins will be the biggest adoption driver. Why? Because a lot of people will have their first experience with either Phantom or Moonshot or trading meme coins on exchanges. And I think meme coins, they're very easy to understand. There's no white paper, there's no technology, there's no liquid restaking, there's none of this complicated stuff, right? And because of this, it can tap into much wider demographic. Whether it's old people or young people, they can all understand memes. It's the universal language. Eventually, they're gonna find their way to wallets, DeFi, exchanges, bridges, stable coins, BTC, and I think meme coins are going to be top of the funnel, but then more and more people are going to stay in the industry, and I think that's a good thing.
Indeed. Thank you for sharing for that one. And you have future plans, of course, for 2025, and I seen you working on some of the projects. What's next for you personally into the crypto space? Are there any upcoming projects or initiatives you're excited about? And if you can share with us.
Yep. So currently, I am a core contributor to the project called STFX. It's a DeFi platform, DeFi/SocialFi platform, where you can tokenize trades, where you can copy trade people on chain, and soon you'll even be able to automatically copy trade entire wallets. We recently moved from Arbitrum to Solana, and we have a lot more features coming that I'm very, very excited about. Also, on the personal side, I'm heavily involved with memes, and I plan on continuing to kind of evangelize memes all the way until the end of 2025, maybe even early 2026. I have my 10 core positions, And these are the communities that I'm supporting.
Where do you see yourself in the meme coins market in the 5 years? I mean, I know you now mentioned 2026, but do you believe that in 5 years we will still have meme coins?
Dogecoin and some other meme coins have already proven that meme coins can be multi-cycle. Like Dogecoin, this is already it's third or fourth cycle for Dogecoin, right? And it keeps making new highs. I do think it's going to go to $1 this cycle and make a new high again. I even think that some meme coins in the future are going to get ETFs, as crazy as that sounds. So my thesis is that from 2023, 2024, early or new crop of meme coins, there are going to be maybe 5 or 6 that become multi-cycle as well.
Do you see those meme coins still surviving the bear market, or does the meme coins need to focus on that real asset uses cases into the crypto world, or they can just be a meme coin adopting people and so on?
The way I see it is utility is bullish in bear markets and utility is bearish in bull markets, right? So I think when people are risk on, you want to be as pure meme coin, low utility as possible. And I think when people are kind of like suffering, when there's a bear market, you want to add utility, because what utility does, it creates a floor, but it also creates a ceiling. So in a bull market, you don't want a ceiling, and in a bear market, you want a floor, right? So this is why we've seen projects like Shiba Inu and Flocky add utility during the bear market, right? So I do think something similar is going to happen. In the coming bear market, some of the meme coins from this cycle, some of them are going to add DeFi utility. Others are going to add, become like investment DAOs. Others are going to build like fashion brands, lifestyle brands. So we will definitely see some utility there. Ultimately, I do think that a lot of these meme coins are going to have both the memetic and the utility component. But I think that's totally normal, and that's what we've already seen historically.
Do you think the simplicity is what is also going to drive that mass adoption to the crypto world? And we saw the people cannot sometimes use DEXs, but there's the Phantom who make it very easily for use. And from the SEC side, do you think they need to simplify it for the more people to come to their centralized exchange side?
Yes. I think simplicity and good UX is super, super important, because the fewer frictions you have on the software side, the more people that can come in and not just kind of like stop halfway through.
I will not put you on the spot, but we have a quick segment that we will ask you a quick question. So like a 5-round questions. What's your favorite blockchain? If you need to.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, okay. Most underrated coin right now?
SPX 6900.
And the top crypto influencer you follow, if you follow any?
Art School Reject.
And if you have any closing thoughts that you would like LBankers to hear about it, and of course other community members, what will it be?
Stop trading and believe in something. I think because we're entering the year 4 of the cycle, people that believe, and they believe in the right assets, they're going to outperform traders and rotators. So find good communities that are worth believing in, that are continuing to grow, and just hold for 6 to 12 months. Not financial advice.
And one more question, Murad. If you had 10,000 USDT, how would you invest in which coins? Of course, non-financial advice.
I would invest in not financial advice, of course, but I would invest into a mix of SPX 6900, Giga, Mod, Popcat, Apu, and Harry Potter Obama Song Athenaeum.
Thank you so much for taking a time of your day and coming on and listening to us. Of course, a huge thanks to you, Murad, and we hope we will have you anytime soon.